Hello ladies and gentlemen, we are going to be talking about Phasmophobia. It is a 4-player co-op game where you're hunting ghosts. That's pretty much the sum of it. And it was released by Kinetic Games on the 18th of September and it's had a massive surge of popularity. Kind of makes sense because it's during the holiday season of the... We're absolutely loving this game so far. You start off with pretty much no items, no money, and you do your tutorial mission and then you get into the game and it's an absolute hoot. But there is some major problems with the game, this being that it was released in early access. Now I've discussed with a few people what they would like to see in the game and a lot of them I do share. For example, one of the things that we all find is we personally want something to do as the ghost. I mean, don't get me wrong, it is a cooperative game, but I feel like doing something rather than just walking around as a ghost. If you die early, don't get me wrong, you could get good, but I want something that adds more to the game, adds more as the ghost. So it gives you objectives if you are a ghost, whether it is actually helping your teammates, being able to speak into the spirit box for them so you could give them hints as to where you died, or you could actually turn it around and have objectives as the ghost to actually cause more of a problem for your teammates, whether it's having like a free charge activated scream which would add to the scare element. If you could actually go near your teammates, activate this scream, and although I know a lot of people aren't into the jump horror scare games, I feel when you get hunted by the ghost, it loses its effect after a few times, but having a random auditory scream that can scare the living Jesus out of all your teammates would be fantastic. But I feel like having something where you are a ghost will improve that. I'm not saying have a team of ghosts, have a team of non-ghosts. We're not talking about Dead by Daylight here, we are talking about Phasmophobia. It is a game in its own. I love the whole speaking element, but I want to be able to have my teammates scare me. There's been moments in the game where they have scared me as a human being. Maria Jones. Mate, if they was a ghost and being able to add that onto it, it would add a whole new element of fear for me, knowing that they could be sitting there watching me not being able to hear them, and them to be able to troll the hell out of me. Another great idea we got is to make the larger maps more interesting. The only issue we've had with the larger maps, they are pretty much the exact same as the smaller maps. The only thing is it takes you longer to find the actual ghost. Now, actually to utilize the fact that there is larger maps, whether it is the ghost traveling from room to room, making it more difficult for you, actually using those trip sensors so you know where that ghost is traveling, it will actually make people more encouraged to play the larger maps and give more ideas for future maps to come. I feel this would be a great idea because the small maps are great, and especially since you can find the ghost a lot easier, but with the larger maps it feels there isn't any other reason other than if you want to make it a longer level to actually do those ones. Outside of ghost hunting, there isn't much you can do with your money. That is one of the things that we would love to see, whether it is customizing your items, customizing the van, making it look really cool. I mean, you're earning a lot of money, but when you get to a certain point in a game, you have pretty much everything you need, and we usually have a person in the van. It's a person who's not so brave to go into the house, but having a person in the van who buys all the stuff. Now, is that a broken mechanic? Most likely, but because they don't die, they never lose the items, meaning our money is pointless. There is nothing else we can use with that money. It's something we would like to see going forward, to have something to use our money with, because once you get to the end game, there isn't much to do. Obviously, we'd all love to see more spirit types, more maps, more interaction between these spirits, more clues you can get, making it more difficult. I feel another part of that is more scares. The more variety of how they actually hunt you would be absolutely fantastic, because once you see those hands in front of your face, it doesn't really get that scary, and that scare drops, and that will lose player base. People will get bored of that. Any jump scare type of game, they lose their appeal really quick. You look at games like Emily Wants to Play. It's fun, but once you know how it works, it loses that scare, and part of these games is the scare. I mean, working as a team is fun, but once you know the game inside out and you're doing it so routinely, it will get very boring and the player base will die. They need to keep these updates coming as well. They need to make sure that they are getting the income now. Utilize that, buy a team, do what you have to do to keep this game updated. Being able to change the actual video camera names, so when the actual person who we have as the operator in the van tells us where to go, which ones to change, it makes it a lot easier rather than going the blue room, the garage and us trying to figure out which one they are referring to. I think one of the ones that I want to see is the difficulty increase. I mean, when you go to the professional, there isn't much that changes. The only thing that seems to change is the fact that they ghosts are a little harder to find and they do react a bit more. I want more change. I want it so you can't find one piece of evidence and pretty much guess the ghost by the way they're acting. I want to be able to work to find out this ghost. I want the ghost to look different. I want it to act different. I want more variety, and I think that's the key, is keeping that variety updated, and that will keep people interested in the game. But I'd love to know your opinions. I'd love to see what you think. Give me ideas what I've not said, and hopefully it gets noticed. Hopefully it gets recognized, as it is a great game and it's got plenty of potential. We will see plenty of spin-offs from this where you're actually using your microphone to interact with the game in horror games. There might have been ones previously, I do not know. I do not know them. I have not played them. But I'll catch you guys again later. Have a great day. Have a great evening. Keep hunting those ghosts and keep it real. I'll catch you later. See ya.